With us today are Jon Hughes, Sustainable Supply Chain Lead, and Lina Hilwani, who's a Director in Jon's team. So, Jon, if I may, I'll start with yourself. Supply chains. Sustainable supply chains, so incredibly important, and we've seen that, haven't we, through the pandemic and more recently through the conflict which is ongoing now in Ukraine. From your perspective, why are sustainable supply chains so important?
I think they're important for two reasons. They have impacts on the people and impacts on planet as well. So I think if you think about planet first, 60% of all global emissions sit within supply chains. So if we want to achieve net zero, supply chain decarbonisation is fundamental to help us do that. And then you think about the impacts on people. There are negatives and positives. We need to turn more of those negatives to positives for the impact supply chains have on people.
And that's fantastic. And Lina, I'm going to come to you for this next one. So where we see that clients have supply chains which are sustainable, what opportunities exist for them?
So the opportunities for business are huge. They start from resilience to climate events, to social events, but also operational resilience. It also offers businesses opportunities for innovation in their products and services while engaging with their supply chains. Responding to stakeholder demands, such as consumers, shareholders more recently as well. But also, on the other hand, companies spend a lot of money with supply chains, which gives them a unique opportunity to really drive positive change. And on their own ESG agendas, companies are unlikely to be able to achieve their ambitions without really engaging with supply chains.
And just, Jon, I'll come back to you on that. In terms of that whole process of engagement with supply chains, I mean, do you have a standout client example where we've helped with that engagement process?
Yeah, so recently we worked with a global consumer goods company on their decarbonisation programme around supplier engagement. And what we found, Jon, is that suppliers fall into three buckets. The first one is suppliers who are ahead of the client, which is fantastic. The second one is suppliers who want to go on the journey but don't know where to start, need a bit of help. And the third one was a group of suppliers who didn't believe in climate change and were not going to change their business. Now, the learnings for businesses everywhere are you're going to need different engagement strategies for those different groups of suppliers as you go on your journey.
Different engagement strategies, so just really tailoring it along the way. I think that's great. Finally, Jon, with yourself, do you have any key takeaways that you'd like to share for business leaders?
Yeah, I think there's three. One, get started. Two, collaborate. And three, use sustainable supply chains for competitive advantage.
Really succinct, I love that. And finally, with yourself, Lina, same question. Key takeaways for business leaders?
So the key takeaway for me is demystify the supply chain, understand what challenges there are and what opportunities there are in terms of sustainable supply chain to enable you to act on them.
Fantastic. Well, thank you both so much.